All tricks, no treats in the Medicare space.
What could it be? What could it be? Oh, hi there. It's my birthday. I'm Christian Brindle.
Area 51, 100%. I'm in. There's alien technology that we've been trying to recreate. The government's been lying about this one for a long time.
And we're back. Everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Seven Figures or Bust podcast, the number one podcast in the world for growing your insurance business. This is episode 172. I'm Christian Brindle, joined with Glenn Shelton as always, and we have a freaking fantastic episode for you guys today on a Thursday. I don't know if you had anything you wanted to start the show off with today, but I wanted to quickly just start off with, man, I think Victor Wembanyama's my favorite player.
I knew you were going to talk about Wembanyama.
I think he's my favorite player to watch. I don't know if there's a player I enjoy watching more.
Can you confirm something for me? So are they listing him an inch taller this year? Is that true?
He grew. He's 7'5" now.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Monster. He's a monster.
How is he still growing?
They showed a stat. I don't know if you caught this. They showed a stat last night. So last night he had 40 points, 15 rebounds, 0 turnovers. He shot like 70% from the field. He hit shots that nobody should hit. Like he did everything. Like he hit step back threes plus the foul, catching lobs. Like he was fantastic.
He made Anthony Davis look like me. He made, like Anthony Davis looks so, which is just crazy because Anthony Davis is huge.
That baseline, double clutch reverse dunk was one of the greatest plays I've ever seen. Like I love him. I'm in. They showed a stat for that stat line, right? 40 points, 15 rebounds, 0 turnovers. It had only been done by like 4 people ever. Shaq was one of them. It was all-time great big guys. I can't remember.
Didn't he get a few double-doubles or triple-doubles last year with blocks being double digits? I thought he had a few games last year.
He did as a rookie. He had a few of those.
That's just stupid. Like 10 blocks in a game in the NBA is just that's insane.
He looks stronger. He put on some weight over the summer. It looks like they're going to be good. I'm calling it right now. They're a playoff team. Team.
So I didn't watch the whole game. I watched a little bit, and I tuned in specifically because I wanted to see Cooper Flagg's first game. And lo and behold, it's like Cooper who?
They have the same problem as Houston. They don't have a point guard because Kyrie's out. They have D'Angelo Russell, but they're scared to play him. They have Cooper playing point guard. He's not a point guard. Like they have the same problem as Houston.
Yeah,
the same problem.
That was a wild. That did not go how I expected. The other thing I wanted to mention, because I knew you were going to bring Wemby up, was this whole thing of him training with the Shaolin monks in the off season. Like, what is that a real? Like, do I need to go spend a month with the Shaolin monks? Like, what?
You might.
Did that change his game? Do you believe that training with the monks changed his game?
I don't, because he was doing this kind of stuff, not to this level, but he was playing great last year. He's only 22. He's going into his third year. Year 3 is usually when big guys really blossom, so I think it would have happened already naturally, just progression wise. Shaq went to the finals in year 3.
Ooh.
Like if you look at the history of big men in year 3, right? It's like their breakout season. There's a lot of examples of this. So I think it would have happened anyway, but it's great promotion for the monks.
Great promotion for the monks. I love it.
I just had to quickly mention that, like, Wemby, man, I'm in. I was in before when he got drafted. I thought he was going to be great, but it was such a fun game to watch. He was just dominant on both sides of the floor. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to see them play a real team because I don't think the Mavericks are going to be any good, to be honest.
No.
I feel like there was something else I was going to jump into, but it's kind of eradicated from my mind at this point. So I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to talk about before main topic today.
If that's the case, if it pops back up, let's jump into it. But let's jump into the sponsor, because this main topic, there's a lot, I think, to talk about with this. So the main topic, for those of you that maybe didn't read it, things that you think help your business, but actually don't. And I got a nice little list compiled here to kind of go through. I'm sure you'll have some to add as
This could be
a 2-hour show, honestly.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff we've already talked about on the show before, but I thought this was such a fun topic. And as I was coming up with examples, I just kept thinking of more. I was like, oh yeah, that. I'm like, oh, that drives me bananas. I'm like, that. I'm making a list of things that trigger me that you guys keep doing. And
alternate title for the show: things that trigger Christian.
Let's transition into sponsor, however.
Yes.
Guys, episode 172 is brought to you none other than Lead Heroes. Okay, guys, October is Medicare Supplement Awareness Month. We've been talking about this a lot. Save the sups. Okay, we're on a mission to save Medicare Supplement. It's an endangered species product. Market share shrinks on a year-to-year basis, but we're trying to help turn that around by giving you opportunities to sell Medicare supplement products regardless of where you are, with $19 Medicare supplement leads when you purchase a minimum of 30. These Medicare supplement leads are call verified. They are exclusive, they're real time, and they're typically $40 a pop. They're discounted over 50%. Glenn, what else do the people need to know about Medicare Supplement Awareness Month and $19 MedSup leads?
Do not wait. That's the biggest thing I can say about these leads right now. We've had a lot of action on these already. I noticed yesterday with one of our order confirmations that went out to one of the agents that we're working with. It's already about, I think it was like November 3rd or 4th before they'll receive any leads. So again, we're peak AEP season right now. So this isn't something we can just turn on and they'll come right away. And this promotion's also going to end in a week. And then the price is going to double. It's going to go back to $40 per lead. So do not wait. Help us save the subs and help save your own bank account at the same time. And also get a Medicare beneficiary into one of the best policies they can possibly get into. I think it's a win-win-win. I said that yesterday, and I would stress that again today. This is one of the best things going on right now during AEP and all the chaos. And also one of the best times to sell Medicare supplement, because seniors are naturally thinking it's time to switch. Statistically, I've seen this over the past decade of being in this space, that a Medicare supplement lead during AEP converts at a higher rate. That's been statistically proven. I've personally seen that happen. So never been a better time to sell Medicare supplement, and let us help you. Head over to leadheroes.com right now. LEADHEROES, leadheroes.com. I remembered what I was going to talk about. It's a perfect transition off of today's sponsor. Before we get into the main topic today, I'm going to share my screen.
Yes, please.
This is, I think, fascinating to look at. We talk about Medicare supplement being an endangered species. The verbiage that you used early on in this Medicare Supplement Awareness Month in October was a depreciating market share product. Mm-hmm. And I have what I'm about to share right now. This is a statistical proof of that over the past 5 years. So can you see my screen, good sir?
I can indeed.
Okay, so we have on the Lead Heroes website for a long time now, we've had this data. Actually, kind of liked it. I'm going to shrink a little bit. We had this data that came from CMS.gov. So CMS.gov tracks Medicare Advantage penetration per county all across the United States. So this data comes straight from cms.gov. It's not perfect by any means. There's some things you have to take into consideration when you're looking at this data. But as far as like any other data sets that I've found over the years, this is a really powerful tool to utilize for Medicare supplement marketing and just understanding the area that you're marketing in a little bit better. So again, from cms.gov, we updated this. So you're looking at 2020 versus 2025. So the 5-year difference you'll see on the right here. Shout out to Randy for helping me get this updated. So you're going to see this depreciating market. I mean, some of these is just crazy. I mean, look at this. Almost a 20% growth in Medicare Advantage over the past 5 years. I mean, just monster numbers in some of these counties. It seems small month over month, year over year, but then all of a sudden here we are 5 years later, and it's a huge difference. So I've always told this to agents from the beginning that if you're trying to get more Medicare supplement clients, marketing into a county that has a lower Medicare Advantage penetration is going to yield a higher number of Medicare supplement beneficiaries. So, one of the counties, I'm gonna come down to Oregon here where I'm at, and I'm gonna show you guys my county, Clatsop County. I'm assuming it's going to be a very low Medicare Advantage penetration. Look at this. Look at this.
-3.
Negative. I'm saving the subs here in Clatsop County. We're taking back ground for the first time. But you'll see how low this is historically. So if you were to market for Med Sup in my county, so this is the total number of Medicare eligibles in the county, and we're seeing a 4%, just a 4%, because again, there's really no networks here in the area. It's essentially all Med Sup. So this is a fantastic county to market Med Sup in, versus here in Oregon, alternatively, where you probably would not want to market Medicare supplement. We'll go to Multnomah. This is Portland. So again, lots of Medicare beneficiaries. However, look how high the Medicare supplement, the Medicare Advantage penetration is at 67%. I don't know, that 4% number can't be accurate from 2020, but I do believe this number to be accurate. It's always been pretty high. It was around, I'd say 55% previously. So up to about 67%. So what happens, guys, if you market for Med Sup in a county like this, that has a lot of Medicare Advantage, you're going to see a lot more people respond to the marketing, regardless of how specific you get. I mean, we have some of the most specific Medicare supplement marketing you can find. When we're talking to these folks on the phone, we'll say Medicare supplement 3 different times. Do you have a Medicare supplement? It's like, are you sure you have a Medicare supplement? Do you have a Medicare supplement? For real, Mrs. Jones. They're saying yes. And, they'll see the advertising. They believe they have a Medicare supplement. So this, I think, is a very telling, this data set. And we'll have this on our website at Lead Heroes. You can head over there and actually view this data set if you want to check out your local area or look at other states and other counties. And again, see the total number of eligibles, see what it was, what it is, see what the market share is doing. I think it's a very powerful tool, and also just kind of helps you guys understand, what we're talking about with this concept of a depreciating market share product. In a lot of areas, it is losing ground, but utilizing that data, you can really get ahead in MedSup marketing. That's kind of been historically what we've seen. What do you think when you see some of that data, Christian? What's some of your first thoughts?
Yeah, it's super interesting, right? And I think it's really interesting to kind of look at. I think you hit it right on the head when you said it might not seem like a lot month over month or even year over year, but when you look at a long period of time, like 5 years, it can make it's a huge difference. 20% in some markets. So as you were scrolling, I noticed they were like some over 30%.
Yeah.
But then in other areas, right, Medicare Advantage penetration, like you said, in your county is down a little bit. So it's interesting to kind of know where are the Medicare supplement hot markets versus the MA hot markets. So I thought it was super interesting. and
Yeah.
very valuable. A lot of
Very
valuable
valuable.
information there.
Great tool to use. I think also understanding, because here's another thing that's come up many times over the years when I'm dealing with agents at Lead Heroes. Well, Glenn, there's a million people here. What do you mean you can't generate leads here? It's like, well, there might be a million people in your city, but how many are actually Medicare eligible, right? Like that's the real number we should be talking about. I don't care about the demo of 10 to 20-year-olds. Like that population segment means nothing to me, right? So
Right.
another powerful part of that data, is where are the seniors actually located? From a population density standpoint, what's the actual numbers? So yeah, I wanted to get into that, kind of mention that. We'll have that again. That's going to be on the Lead Heroes website. We'll make sure that link is available for you guys if you want to check out that data set and utilize it for your own marketing needs.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, guys, make sure to take advantage. $19 MedSup leads. Say that one last time. Help us save the subs, MedSup Awareness Month. Okay, let's shift gears into the main topic at hand, and then we're gonna hit the clutch.
Clutch.
Again, right? The title of the main topic today is things that you think help your business that actually don't. When I read that, is there a few things, without saying what they are, is there a few things that pop into your mind just subconsciously?
For sure. Yeah, immediately. For sure.
Before we get into the actual list, I do want to mention that there's a couple things on here that, not necessarily saying they're bad things for your business or like they have no strategic value long-term for your business, but some of you, I feel like, put all of your emphasis into some of these things and you think it's going to transform your business to where, like, if you didn't do some of these things even at all, it probably wouldn't have much of an impact. It'd probably be like a 1% difference, or something like that. So I wanted to kind of preface what I'm saying today by saying that I'm not saying any of these things are necessarily bad, but they're not in general needle movers like some of you think they
Right.
are. Okay.
Right.
And there's other things on here that you just should not do. Like not only is it not a needle mover, it moves the needle the wrong way, the other way, because it takes your time and it has no possibility of you benefiting from it whatsoever.
Right.
So there's two different types on here. I wanted to mention that. Okay, so I'll start with my list.
Yeah, please. Yeah, start and we'll go from there.
And if you have any that you think of as I'm going, maybe we'll just clear through my list real quick. I only have 6. And then any that you think of that I didn't touch on, I want to jump into. I want to make sure we have as much time for this as possible. Okay, so number 1, this one might be a little polarizing. I was thinking about this the other day. Business cards. Some of you put so much thought into your business card. You get these fancy business cards. You get these, thicker business cards. I dig it,
metal.
right?
You
metal
remember the
business
agent?
cards.
Do you remember the agent that got metal cards? You know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
They were under the impression they were God now because they had metal business cards, just flopping those. I'm like, I don't know if anyone wants that. I don't know if anyone wants it.
That's got to cost a pretty penny.
It's like, what? Why?
So, this is what I've learned over the years when it comes to business cards. It's not that you shouldn't have a business card.
Right.
But, and I'm horrible with it at this point, right? Like, I have not carried my business cards around with me for 5 or 6 years. Like, I've had multiple instances where someone's like, "Do you have a card?" I'm like, "No, Google me." Just Google me. I don't carry business cards. I don't feel like it's cost me a cent over the years not carrying it. I'll go to conferences. People be like, "Do you have a card?" I'm like, "No." I'm like,
no. Ew, gross. No.
I kind of like, I haven't set this up for myself, but I kind of like how some people have like those digital cards, where like you can scan something on their phone. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, bump your phones,
But like 9 out of 10 people that you ever hand a business card to end up in the trash. I go to
Yeah.
events I have for years, and I always end up with like 15 business cards because I'll be in a conversation with someone. They'll be like, here's my card. And I want to be kind. I don't want to be rude. So I put it in my pocket. I'll pretend like I'm going to keep it. Ends up in my suitcase. It stays there for a month or two until I finally unpack my suitcase when I come home. And then when I do, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I throw it away. You know what I mean? Like, that's where most of your business cards are going. And some of you put so much thought and effort and attention to detail into your business card. I'm not saying you shouldn't have them, but the vast majority of your business cards that you're paying for, and I know they're cheap, right? But like, it's more of the time and the attention that you put into them, into the design of them and the thought behind them. Most people don't care.
Or people, here's the other thing with this is agents who are almost like, I can't even get started until I have my business card. You know, I've seen that type of mentality before too, where that like it's categorized as this like necessity. Like, I can't possibly sell a policy until I have a business. Like, not that you shouldn't have them, like you're saying, but it's not nearly as important as people think, especially in 2025. I think by default right now, if you were to take your iPhone and my iPhone and we were to bump our iPhones together without any apps or any setup, the contact information gets shared. I did it by accident, I think, with my son the other day. Our iPhones touched, and it was like trying to share my contact over. Like, it's just like, if it's that easy to share your information, you know, what's a paper business card really going to do? You know?
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Let's keep it moving because I want to cover as many of these as possible. Okay, so number 2, we talked about this recently on the show. So we don't have to beat it to death necessarily, but I'd love to talk about it just a little bit more. Handwritten cards to people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great one.
It's got to be like on the Mount Rushmore of this exact topic. This is, I'd say, you know, the business cards example is probably the one that I'd put in the category of, it's not to say that it hurts you, right? But it's not a needle mover. This is like a needle moving in the backwards direction category example to me. Handwritten cards. Someone sent us a screenshot of somebody who's like kind of proclaims himself as like an industry leader. I'm not going to get us in trouble, I promise. But like October 15th, she's sitting there writing Christmas cards handwritten.
Wow.
And I'm like, the fuck are you doing?
Do you want, I think I know where the birthday could, you want me to go grab it really fast?
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
I'll rant.
Keep things spinning. I wanted to show this on the pod. This is a great time to show it, I think.
Yeah, so, you know, I've talked about this before, but when it comes to cards, some people misinterpret what I'm saying. They're thinking, they think Christian's saying that we shouldn't send cards to our clients, thank you cards, birthday cards, Christmas cards, anything like that. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you shouldn't handwrite them and you shouldn't spend even a second on it. With all of the technology tools that you have today, with things like send out cards, Mailbox Power, Thanks.io, which is the one that we personally use, you should be able to 100% automate this entire process. You have a beautiful looking card, and it happens with or without your knowledge. There's ours right there. There's our birthday card right there. So you got some exclusive value on today's episode. Usually we don't give this out unless you're like a university member.
Let me tell, I want to tell the quick story behind this birthday card because I think it's so funny. Is I have policies through the agency, so I'm technically a client of ESI, and so that puts me into these automations where these cards are going out. And Christian's talked at length about why waste time handwriting cards, right? I mean, not to mention the timing on this. My birthday was on a Monday, and this came in the mail Friday afternoon. Like, it couldn't have been timed better, right? If Christian was to handwrite me a card and send it in the mail, he probably couldn't have timed it that well.
Right.
Now, the handwriting on the card was identical to what you're seeing here. And if you're an audio only listener, the point I'm trying to prove here is it looks like it's actually being handwritten. And in fact, it's so well looking to be handwritten that my son, when he opened this, thought that Christian or someone at the office had actually handwritten this card for me. And the writing on the envelope looked identical to this as well. So the actual addressing of the card. So if it's that close, if this can be automated 100% and it's so close to looking authentically handwritten that it could even fool my 13-year-old, what are we even talking about anymore, right? I mean, think
Right.
how many of these do you think we're probably sending out 10,000 or more of these automated a year, right?
I don't know. I don't know exactly how many we're sending. It's
5,000. I mean,
probably 10,000. Probably over the
because
course of
there's
the year.
like policy, anniversary, happy birthday, all of these different, Christmas, whatever, any of these that are going out. I mean, it saves so much time and energy. It's crazy.
I am logging actually in right now. I don't know if I can share my screen to show you guys, because it might show personal information, right? Like addresses, things like that. Actually, maybe not. Okay. There's a way for me to do this without sharing anything. So it looks like today already, it is not even 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We have sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards already today, automatically, at about $2 a pop. I'll share my screen because I think I can without giving any deets away. Okay, so these are happy birthday cards.
Yeah, it's just like what I got. There it is.
There it is. Right? It started at 5 in the morning, 5:44 in the morning. It's already fulfilled.
You're not even out of bed yet.
Right.
And
I have no idea this is happening.
This Christian sleeping, and these are going out. So not only is he saving his own time, but look at the cost on that for $2. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
But there's goofballs out there that think they have to handwrite all these and give themselves carpal tunnel. And by the way, if I hand wrote one of those, it would look a lot shittier than that one does. I guarantee it. It looks so much easier to read, so much nicer, so much cleaner. It's like, What are we doing here? What are we doing? The
cards that I used to handwrite as an agent, I got like blank white cards. Like they were just like thank you cards. Because again, I'm one person. I can only do so much. I'm not worrying about birthdays. I'm not worrying about holidays. I was focused on thanking people for signing up with me, right? So I had these blank white thank you cards that I'm chicken scratching in. Like, this is so perfect. It's so clean. Like, the logo looks great. Like, and again, it was that same feeling of getting it in the, Christian joked about this on the show before, but it's that same feeling of like, oh, wow, they thought about me, right? Like, it's just, yeah, I'm ready to die on this hill with you, brother. I'm ready to circle the wagons. Anyone who thinks you have to handwrite every card, like this is proof. This is evidence.
Like, do you want to be the person that proclaims themselves an industry leader that's handwriting 1 million cards on October 15th and not writing any business? Like on supposedly what's supposed to be the busiest day of the year, they're handwriting cards. Like, are we in a real life right now? I had to really kind of stop myself from just roasting the hell out of this person, but I didn't. I showed restraint, but I guess here I am roasting them on the show. But I'm just more kind of using it as a cautionary tale. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. The other aspect of this is people say like, well, my retention numbers are amazing because I handwrite them. They're not better than ours. I don't believe you're not going to convince me. From 2024 to 2025, we kept 97.5% of our clients. Didn't handwrite a single card. We're going to keep probably
I love how triggered you are on this.
It's so bothersome, but I don't know why I care that you guys waste your time. It doesn't affect me. I don't know why I care. I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to get you out of the matrix. Okay. You
Oh,
have
man.
tubes in the back of your neck. You're in a giant, like, you know,
Yeah.
you're in a giant aquarium like thing, you know,
Yep.
and you just don't know it. And you have like suction tubes down your throat and everything to feed you and everything like that. And I'm just like beating on the glass. I'm like,
Take,
hey.
take the red pill. Take the red pill. Get out.
But anyway, yeah, I mean this is a Mac Daddy one. We've beat it to death. We don't need to cover it too much more. Okay,
Yeah.
next one. Expensive courses that you never use.
Oh, yeah. This is a great one. This is a
Now,
great one.
we offer a course we have for many years, offer several courses. Our courses have always been really inexpensive compared to a lot of others out there. And I would say give you much more. Like there's not a course in that's Medicare / health insurance related, I think, that you can put against ours and there's more value in it. But we've always charged a fraction of it. A lot of these charge yearly fees. Ours doesn't.
Right.
And some of you just pay tens of thousands of dollars a year out in courses. And I talk to a lot of people that run these. There's plenty of you that never even log in. Like you don't,
Yep.
you buy them, you don't even log in. Even if they were good, you'd never know it. You know, but the thing is like a lot of the information is pretty generic, you know, like not saying there's not good programs out there, but for some of you, you'd be so much better off just spending it on leads or spending it on marketing. You know, like
The irony of this one is there's some agents that we both know. I could say names, I won't, that will come to us and be like, I'm struggling. I can't seem to figure this out. I can't seem to grow. They're willing to buy everything, right? We've talked about these types of agents before. They'll buy every course, they'll go to every conference, right? And they're just like, I can't seem to figure it out. And it's almost like they're avoiding taking action, in my opinion. Like
yeah,
I've really studied these agents from afar and up close now. It's almost like they are able to make the decision to access the information that they need, access maybe even the mentorship that they need. But it's like at the end of the day, you can bring that horse to water, but you can't force them to drink. You know, like they have to take action themselves.
we've talked about this a lot on previous shows, probably even before we did this show when we did Taco Tuesday. I know we talked about this, and I kind of think of it as it's the illusion of productivity. It's a dopamine hit that tells you in your mind, oh, I'm doing something positive for my own growth, my own
Yeah.
development, but
Yep.
it never actually goes anywhere. And people kind of get addicted to that feeling like, oh, I'm growing, I'm developing, I'm getting in the room, quote unquote, you know?
Yep.
And there's a lot of people that, like Glenn said, that they buy every course, they go to every event, like they shell out more money on that stuff than they probably do on their marketing of their business. And they never go anywhere and they don't understand why. And it's because you're not ever doing anything that's actually moving the needle on your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one that I thought was a really, really big one.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Number 4, not that I'm against this necessarily. Like we have this, like Glenn's got one on his head right now, a piece of it.
Oh, this was gonna be one of mine too.
Branded clothing.
Oh, that's not. Never mind. Never mind. That's not.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay. We could save yours
I'll
for
say
later.
I'll say, but it's funny because mine fits your hint, but it's not the same. It's not the same. This is
So-
this falls into this is like business cards part 2 in a lot of ways, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, branded clothing, you know, some people might fight me on this, but like, I really believe there's people out there that invest a lot of money in like expensive designer branded clothing for their business. And they kind of look at it from the perspective of like, everywhere I go, I'm a walking billboard. But the amount of people, like if you put the same amount of money into an ad, how many more people would actually see it and you'd spend less? Probably not even close, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I'm not fundamentally against, We have branded clothing. I like branded clothing. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. But if I was starting out or I was struggling and I had to make like decisions on how I was going to
Right.
proceed forward with my business, that'd probably be what I'd do if I had an excess of cash and I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, it's not a necessity by any means, right? There's no way you can convince me that that's a necessity to be successful, or that's a necessity to sell insurance. You got to have branded company clothing or whatever, it's just, it's right there with business cards in my mind. Kind of that same category of just people build it up to be something so much bigger than it actually is in their heads.
Yes. All right. I'm going to keep moving because I know I want to make sure we have plenty of time to cover any that you're thinking of as we talk. Number 5, billboards. So are billboards inherently bad? No.
Yes.
Can you get business from billboards? Yes.
Yes.
Is it a very expensive, overall inefficient way of advertising for the 99% of situations?
Yes.
Yes, it is. For me, the value of billboards is if you're doing a lot of other type of marketing in your area, like let's say you're doing Facebook ads, maybe you're even doing postcard mailings, maybe you're doing events, seminars, things like that, and your brand is getting pushed out there a lot. I think the billboards can kind of strengthen some of that other advertising that is being done. But there's a lot of people that will get billboards expecting their phone to start ringing off the hook. We spent tens of thousands of dollars on billboards for years. And I can probably count on one hand how many people actually called us and said, I'm calling from the billboard. Now, do I think that the billboard might have strengthened other things we were doing? Probably. Is that something that we can really quantify? It's really difficult to actually put like a number on what that impact actually was. But we stopped doing billboards about a year and a half ago, and I haven't seen any difference in our overall effectiveness on our marketing, right? So, and I know there's people that do billboards and they swear by them and they have multiple billboards in their area and they get lots of business. I'm not saying it can't work, but like, I think you have to be in a really, really unique area where maybe there's not, maybe even like a rural area where there's not a lot of billboards, there's not a lot of competition. Like it's one of the few things that they see. I could see that maybe being effective.
Yeah, and there's multiple types of billboards. There's digital billboards. There's the traditional billboards. There's location's a huge part of, I think, the success of a billboard as well, right? How many eyeballs are actually going to see that billboard? I think from a branding perspective, there's definitely value, but from like trying to generate leads, generate clients, it's just one of probably the worst things I think you could do. It's just not something that's genuinely going to help. A billboard is similar to like a TV commercial for like a fast food restaurant. Like a fast food restaurant, like Taco Bell running an ad on TV. Does Taco Bell think you're going to watch that ad and then get in your car and drive to Taco Bell? No. And who does? Nobody does. Well, Christian.
No, just kidding.
Christian's like, oh, I forgot about Taco Bell. And he's just, boom, he's gone. He's gone. Christian, where did you go? But it's a branding play, right? You're thinking about them. They're front of mind now. Like that's where there's some value with the billboard. What Christian just said, I personally have never done a billboard for any of my business. When we merged, I believe there was still a billboard active. So I saw it from that angle. I've also talked to a lot of agents because it is one of those things where it seems like the second an agent starts to cash flow, they're considering a billboard, like almost. So I've talked to an incredible amount of, I'm not aware of any agent that's like, I'm crushing billboards. I'm all in on billboard. Like I've never heard that from an agent or agency before.
I've heard it from one agent back east.
There you go. There's one.
And he's in the Facebook group, and I like him. I like him a lot. I believe him. But
there's always
from what it seems like he's in a really rural area, right? Okay. I think like that's why I gave that kind of disclaimer there, because like I think of an area like his, and I think from what I can tell about it from afar, it's very unique, and I think it's not like our area, right, which is relatively large and metropolitan. There's a lot of advertisements going on all the time. It's easy to get lost in the sauce, if you will. But yeah. Okay. Last one I got. Networking groups.
Ooh.
Now,
BNI.
there's also people that swear by this. There's people that
Yes.
say that networking groups are huge for their business, and not all networking groups are the same. I'm not saying that there's no value in any networking group, but I do believe that there are plenty of them out there that require a significant amount of monetary and time investment from you to be in them. I told the story many times on the show where I was invited to like a BNI group near me years ago. And I went to a couple meetings, and what I found out was you had quotas you had to reach on a month-to-month basis of referring customers of yours to other people in the group. Otherwise, they'd kick you out. It was like thousands of dollars a year to be in it. You also had to be there. You could only miss like so many sessions a year. It was like class or like a job or something. So I was like, I'm out, because, you know, I just failed to see the value in it for me of pushing and aggressively pressuring my clients to call the garage door repair guy. And that
the garage door repair guy. Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead on.
I've been in a couple of networking groups. One was a paid networking group where I literally had to pay to be a part of. There's just it's very similar to billboards in the sense that you're paying something in hopes that you're going to get clients from it. And I don't know if I got a single client, honestly, maybe one out of this paid networking group. It just wasn't nearly the type of success that I was looking for. You know, what's funny is Christian and I had a private conversation yesterday afternoon, and we were talking about a marketing company that is like a traditional marketing company, think like Mad Men, think like 1960s marketing. Like they're trying to draw up slogans, they're coming up with jingles, like to really crush it in the insurance space. That's not traditionally what works. What works is lead generation, setting appointments, like seeing the people, talking to the people. Like the most successful agents I know, a lot of times it's just generic marketing. They're just trying to get in front of people to sell more insurance. It's not some grandiose campaign. And you know, billboards falls into that category, and networking groups kind of falls in that category for me too. I know there's exceptions to that. I know some agents who've done really, really well. So it's kind of like your mileage will vary. We did a whole episode on networking groups. If you really want to hear more about it, check it out. I thought that was a great episode. I think we really deep dived it, but
yes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
All right. That's the end of my list. What are some things that you're thinking of?
I have two. We went way over time yesterday, so I want to try to keep this in a relatively short time format since we're already at top of time here. But I have two that were top of mind that we didn't discuss. One is hardware. So when you said it's on your head right now, I thought you were talking about my headset.
Oh,
you know, I don't even know if I had a Bluetooth headset my first 2 years in the business, to be honest.
I didn't.
I think I was either like using a handheld corded office phone, or I was using my cell phone, and I'm either holding it to my, if I did have a headset, it was probably a corded like AirPod headset, like the ones that used to come with your phone. And that's one of those things. This kind of falls into that category of business cards in the sense that a lot of agents are like, I need to find the most expensive, nicest headset before I can pick up the phone and make a call because it's going to help me. And it's like, not to say that it doesn't help, but it's also not necessary. Like this is not a necessity to help your business. And it doesn't make sense to go buy a $500 headset if you're not cash flowing yet. Like, why would you do that? You know, like that doesn't make any sense. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Like, I think to me, something like that is a luxury, not a necessity. You should have seen the phone I started calling from when I started. Like, it was probably older than me.
Yeah.
It was so old. I wonder if we have it around. No, I think we threw it away.
No, that's too bad. That would have been a relic.
Yeah. It,
in
it
a
was
museum.
literally like from Radio Shack 1980s type of phone.
You
know,
should
like
buy a replica. You should buy a replica, put it in glass.
yeah. And a lot of sales were made from that phone. We had it hooked up through a Magic Jack line.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what it was, at that point in time. And so, yeah, I think that's a terrific example. Now, do I think that's ideal? No. But
Right.
a lot of you, when you're starting off, you're on a budget and every
Yes.
penny matters and it needs to contribute towards the growth of your business. And that just probably won't. It might make you just slightly more comfortable while you talk to no one because you don't have a budget to spend on marketing or leads.
There's this mindset that some of you have where you think you need to go max out a credit card before you've made a single sale. Like you want to go like buy all this stuff that you think you need. And it's like the one piece of advice I would have for you, like start cash flowing before you worry about anything else. Like go sell at least 5 policies and then you can start looking at like what you actually need. Here's my last one is a big office or a fancy office.
Sure.
So many agents over the years that I've personally worked with or that I know I've seen people get into leases in big office spaces and then they end up having to break that lease because it's too expensive. They can't afford it. They weren't able to fill the office the way they thought they would. Some of the most successful agencies I know are like these back hole in the wall offices. It's not a pretty office by any means, but it's super cost effective. They're maximizing their square footage, or they're even working from home. They don't even have an office. And there's plenty of agents who do that. They're selling over the phone.
Certainly.
So
absolutely, absolutely,
that's a big one for me.
And it's not to say you can't get an office later. Like I've always said this, right? Like I've seen agents that I've seen the same thing. They put out almost like a ton of money for this big office, and the mentality is like, this office is going to help me make more money because I'm going to have business credibility for my clients, right? It's going to be like the office first, then I'll start having the success, and it's backwards, right? Like a lot of these like mindset kind of guru people, they're like, bet on yourself. That's my Tony Robbins voice. And it's like, bet on yourself, right? Like, go into debt for your dreams, take risks, but don't take stupid risks. Like
Right.
buying an office in general is a risk, but I would much rather want to see an agent on an already upward trajectory before they did something like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of agents just don't do that. They do it the other way around.
Totally agree. Guys, I'm going to jump into my final thoughts here. First of all, I thought this was a great episode, start to finish. I really enjoyed this one.
Yes, it was fun.
My final thoughts, again, I think focus on what actually makes you money, right? Like focus on if you're going to start spending money on your business, it should be something that directly impacts your ability to scale the revenue.
Yes.
And yeah, you can make arguments like the office as an example. You could make an argument, well, if I get a bigger office, I can put agents in it, etc. Well, it's like maybe test that out, right? See if that's actually even going to work for you, and becoming successful as an agent. If I could go back in time and tell myself anything, it's like focus on getting as much success as an independent producer as possible before you do anything else, which honestly is kind of the natural path I chose. I didn't really do anything else for about 2.5 years. I didn't sell leads. I didn't try to recruit agents. I didn't try to grow a big audience. Like all I did for my first 2.5 years in this industry was just sell as much insurance as I could. And that's really what you guys should be focusing on. And so,
yes,
so much great information in this episode. If you're a newer agent and you're trying to figure out like, what do I actually need to do? Like you really need to separate what's a necessity versus like what you just want and what's real, what's fake. So those are my final thoughts. Mr. Brindle, final thoughts on today's episode.
Yeah, I echo what you said. I really enjoyed the topic. I thought it was super valuable. So, and hopefully a lot of you guys get value out of this, whether it be live, replay, anything like that. My final thoughts are, it takes a lot of discipline and emotional maturity to be able to see through the difference of what Glenn was just saying there. That is, what do you need versus what do you want? But you really have to differentiate what you actually need in your business, especially when you're starting. You can spend money a little dumber when you're a little bit more established, but even when you're established, if you spend money too dumb, all of a sudden you're going to sink yourself.
See ya.
It's a slippery slope. So, and also, your time, not even from a monetary perspective, but your time is limited. It's finite. And so, yeah, hopefully there was some value in this for you guys. If you got value out of this episode, if you enjoyed it, do us a favor, like, comment, subscribe, give us a 5-star review, whatever the platform of your choice will allow you to do. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching all the way to the end. We'll see you on the next episode of the 7 Figures or Bust podcast. Here's to your massive success, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, everybody.
Happy selling.